Ang hustisya na ipinapataw ng dayuhan ay hindi hustisya. Ito ang pagpapahiya. Ito ay pang-aalipin. At mga kababayan ko, hindi tayo alipin. Tayo ay Pilipino. At kung Pilipino ka, hindi ka susuko at hindi mo isusuko ang kapwa mong Pilipino, hindi mo isusuko ang iyong pagiging Pilipino. Tayo ba ay isang bansa na may sariling batas? O isa na lang tayong alipin na naghihintay ng utos? Kung kaya nilang gawin ito sa isang dating Pangulo, kaya rin nilang gawin ito sa sino man sa atin.
Senator Amy Marcos is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Majority Leader. Esteemed colleagues of the Philippine Senate, good afternoon. I rise to co-sponsor with Senator Marcoleta and Senator Cayetano the proposed Senate Resolution 307 entitled Resolution Expressing the Sense of the Senate of the Philippines to Protect All Filipinos Against Extraordinary Rendition and Guarantee them a reasonable time prior to their surrender by or extradition from the Philippines to seek redress from the courts and avail of legal remedies. Ang hustisya na ipinapataw ng dayuhan ay hindi hustisya. Ito ang pagpapahiya. Ito ay pang-aalipin. At mga kababayan ko, hindi tayo alipin. Tayo ay Pilipino. At kung Pilipino ka, hindi ka susuko at hindi mo isusuko ang kapwa mong Pilipino, hindi mo isusuko ang iyong pagiging Pilipino. Almost 1 year ago, on that fateful day of 11 March 2025, the Philippine government, acting in coordination with the International Criminal Court, a tribunal whose jurisdiction the Philippines has long and consistently denied, caused the arrest of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte without a warrant issued by any Philippine court. Not content with effecting that arrest, absent any local judicial authority, the government then transported him to The Hague, thereby completing what can only be described as an extrajudicial rendition. Ganito ang nangyari kay Rodrigo Duterte sa kamay ng mga dayuhan na para bang wala siyang sariling bayan, na para bang wala tayong kakayahang humusga sa sarili nating bansa. Mga kababayan, kung may anak kang nasa panganib, ipapasa mo ba siya sa kamay ng iba? Kung may kaibigan kang pinararatangan, hahayaan mo bang ibang tao ang humusga sa kanya habang nakatali ang kanyang kamay at wala siyang laban? Kung ang iyong ama, matanda na at may sakit, ay kinakaladkad palabas ng inyong sariling tahanan, manonood ka na lang ba at walang gagawin? Today, we are confronted with the prospect that the same course of action may once again be undertaken. If we are to remain faithful to our oath to preserve and defend the Constitution, we cannot allow this to pass without clarity, without principle, without constitutional fidelity. During the 19th Congress, your Senate Committee on Foreign Relations conducted extensive hearings into the executive's actions. From the testimony of respected and constitutional authorities, including retired Supreme Court Justice Adolfo Ascuna, a member and author of the 1987 Constitutional Commission, and the constitutional law scholar, Attorney Alexis Medina, two propositions emerged with unmistakable clarity. First, the judicial intervention by Philippine courts is indispensable before the government may arrest a Filipino citizen within our territory and transport him to another jurisdiction. Second, any Filipino citizen arrested in this country without local judicial proceedings retains the right to seek redress before Philippine courts. These are not technicalities. These are constitutional imperatives repeated time and again. And no degree of legal engineering, of semantic maneuvering, or strained interpretation should be permitted to circumvent these constitutional guarantees. During the committee hearing on the 20th of March 2025, Attorney Medina clarified that the term surrender under Section 17 of RA 9851 applies only in two instances. First, when the person to be arrested has already voluntarily surrendered to the custody of the national government, thereby negating the need for extradition proceedings. And second, the person to be arrested is an alien, in which case what will be involved is only a deportation process which does not involve any court proceedings at all. Outside of these very narrowly defined instances, the arrest and transfer of a person to a foreign jurisdiction without local court proceedings would not be sanctioned by our Constitution. For our 1987 Constitution is unequivocal. Article 3, Section 2 of the Bill of Rights provides, no warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be personally determined by the judge after determination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce. The judge contemplated by the Constitution can only be a Philippine judge. Article 8, Section 1 vests judicial power in one single Supreme Court and in such lower courts as may be established by law. The International Criminal Court is not such lower court established by Philippine law. For one, no Philippine statute created the ICC. For another, if the ICC were indeed a lower court, then it clearly means that the Supreme Court can reverse or nullify its decisions and even discipline its judges. The Supreme Court can do neither. Moreover, assuming arguendo that the ICC warrant could be issued domestically without prior judicial action, Article 59(2) of the Rome Statute itself requires that the arrested person be brought promptly before the competent judicial authority of the custodial state. Paragraph 3 further grants the person the right to apply for interim relief before that self-same authority. As Justice Escuna testified during the committee hearing of 10 April 2025, the failure of Philippine authorities to bring the arrested individual before the local courts constitute a violation of Article 59. And as emphasized within our own legal system, there will be consequences for that violation. There is therefore no gray area whatsoever here, no ambiguity, no room for creative interpretation, much less construction. Only Philippine courts may issue a constitutionally valid warrant of arrest enforceable within our jurisdiction, and any person deprived of liberty within Philippine territory without such judicial authority has the right to seek redress before our courts, whether that person be a private citizen, a former president, or a senator. To insist otherwise would reduce the guarantees of our Bill of Rights to mere parchment and would erode the judicial power solemnly vested by the Constitution upon the Philippine judiciary alone. Sabi nila, batas ang dapat manaig. Tama, the law must prevail. But whose law? Our law or theirs? Since when did the Philippines become a province of The Hague? Tayo ba ay isang bansa na may sariling batas? O isa na lang tayong alipin na naghihintay ng utos? Kung kaya nilang gawin ito sa isang dating Pangulo, kaya rin nilang gawin ito sa sino man sa atin. If they can march into our homes, grab hold of our family, and drag them before their courts, when will they stop? And how will they be stopped from doing it again? What stops them from doing it to you, to me, to any one of us? For these reasons, I respectfully and urgently endorse the immediate adoption of our Resolution 307. Thank you and good day to all my colleagues. Thank you.